8 months later, the courtroom held the kind of silence that didn't feel respectful, but haunted. The kind that crept between your ribs and stayed there. The kind that lingered after the truth had been dragged out and left bleeding in front of everyone. Akosya stood on the witness stand, her left wrist twitching slightly, only once, like her body remembered what it meant to be cuffed to a radiator for days. She wasn't the mystery anymore. She was the evidence. Across from her, the defense tried to turn that strength into suspicion. You profited, didn't you? You were silent for years. Fear or convenience? She answered every question, never flinched, never cracked. When the prosecution rested, the gallery clapped once, before the judge silenced them with a single look. Soa had been there during the early sessions, still smirking, still suited. Even in chains, he carried the air of someone convinced nothing could touch him. But then he stopped appearing altogether. Medical delay, they said. Akosya didn't believe it. He was buying time. Always had. In those 8 months, the world kept spinning, but something had shifted. Nadine's expose won every award it could, but it came at a price. Her car was found burned out on a highway outside Alberta. She survived, barely. After that, she disappeared from journalism altogether. Kabi started law school. His essays thundered through the classrooms. His classmates knew his story. Some admired him, others avoided him. He didn't care. He carried both names now, his own and hers. Akbo kept it smaller. Just one new van, a few workers, all of them people no one else would hire. He said second chances were worth more than headlines. But the scars remained. One morning, a letter arrived. No return address, no stamp, just a name scrawled at the bottom like a warning. You killed a branch, not the tree, T. Thomas Baird had vanished from headlines, resigned from boards, fled to France. But the message made one thing clear. He hadn't let go. Akosya read it, made a copy, and burned the original. She stirred the ashes into the fireplace like she was feeding it something old. I'm not afraid of ghosts anymore, she whispered. Years passed. The food truck now sat proudly on a busy corner of Yonge and Eglinton. Its sign a simple nod, ash and grain. A symbol of what was buried and what had grown from it. Kabi worked there on weekends between exams, months away from becoming a full-fledged attorney. Akbo sat nearby most days, quiet, steady, always watching. And Akosya? She was back in the kitchen, apron tied, oil sizzling, not because she had to, but because she wanted to. Tucked away in a drawer behind the register sat one last flash drive, the one they never released, the one that connected Monarch to things even deeper, older, darker. She didn't keep it for revenge. She kept it for when they came again. It started with a letter, elegant, gold-trimmed, the kind sent to people chosen for something. Inside, no signature, just a card. We know who your mother is. Do you? Kabi held it in his dorm room for hours, staring. He hadn't spoken publicly about her in over a year. He thought he'd built his own life, thought they had let it go. The next day, his internship was revoked. No explanation. Then came a security flag at the airport. Then a note from the scholarship board asking if he could clarify his family's legal history. It was a message, not a coincidence. They weren't trying to break him. They were testing him. Back home, Akosya was already preparing. She didn't panic. She didn't lecture. She poured tea, opened a drawer, and slid a folder across the table. Inside, account numbers, aliases, photos, not Soa, not Baird. Something newer, slicker, quieter. Halifax Group International, a law-adjacent investment firm that moved money across oceans and loyalties through courts, not alleys. They didn't launder cash. They laundered successors. They wanted to recruit you, she said. And when they couldn't, they started marking you. Kabi sat with the folder open between them, eyes darkening with the weight of it. Later that night, Akbo found them still there, silent. He listened, then he sighed. I used to think peace was the end of war, he said. Now I think it's just the space between battles. Akosya didn't flinch. Then we fight smarter this time. Kabi filed for a clerkship under a judge Nadine once trusted. No Halifax ties, no dark money fingerprints. Meanwhile, Akosya reached out to the only person who still owed her a favor in London, a woman who once helped her vanish. Remember the ledger? She asked. I'm ready to make it sing. The invitation arrived like bait, a mentorship program. Impressive, prestigious. Halifax's logo at the bottom. Kabi forwarded it to the encrypted email his mother had set up. The reply came within an hour. That's not mentorship. That's a vetting channel. They want to know if you can be bought or broken. Akosya was already 10 steps ahead. Her network was in place. Journalists, whistleblowers, survivors. Marcelo Kienga, once a forensics expert at Monarch's European division, handed her a thumb drive and a private key at a food fair in Berlin. The contents? A copy of the original master ledger, and proof that Halifax wasn't just laundering power, but breeding it. Kabi accepted an invitation to a private legal summit hosted by Halifax. It was a trap. He went anyway. Lucien Gray greeted him, polished, pale, a recruiter without a conscience. For people like you, Lucien whispered, law is just the stage. We're offering you the script. Kabi smiled. He played along until he found the document, a proposal, his name on it, generational grooming potential, subject trained, influence stage imminent. He pressed the silent trigger embedded in his watch. While he was extracted by allies posing as staff, Akosya hit the switch. 17 news outlets received encrypted leaks. Nadine came out of retirement. Marcelo rerouted the documents through whistleblower safe havens. And then the world exploded. Headlines screamed in every language. Whistleblower Archive unveils global grooming network. Food vendor turned informant brings down empire son of infamous whistleblower targeted for recruitment. No one could deny it now. Halifax fell, quietly but fully. And in the days that followed, a single video appeared. Akosya, silhouetted in shadows. You tried to use my son like you used me, she said. But we are not your seeds. We are your undoing. This time, I didn't run. This time, I led the fire. 2 years passed. The world found new distractions. But her name stayed, in court syllabi, in business ethics case studies, in closed-room policy meetings. The Boadu Clause passed in Parliament, protecting anonymous witnesses tied to government corruption. They never credited her. But everyone knew. Akpo still brewed her tea the old way, still folded her aprons with care. Kabi, now a prosecutor, never spoke of her on the record, but he carried her into every courtroom. He kept his name, not for the scandal, for the survival. People sometimes asked, do you still talk to her? He always answered, every day. She just doesn't always talk back. And as for Akosya, no one knew for sure where she went. Some said island, some said alias, some said underground. But on the 3rd anniversary of the leak, a package arrived at Nadine Farah's doorstep. No return address. Inside, one flash drive, one manuscript. Titled simply, Ash and Grain, How We Burned Quietly, by A.B. It ended with one line. Let them forget my name, but never forget what I refused to become. The fire she lit no longer burned buildings or files. It burned in people, quietly, everywhere. Years later, a soft evening light spilled across the porch of a quiet house with no cameras, no alarms. Kabi sat wrapped in a blanket, his tea warm between his palms. His grandchildren sat at his feet. And then softly, Grandpa, who was Akosya? He looked out at the gold sky. She was a fire, he said. Like angry? No, he smiled. Like necessary. They listened. She didn't burn to destroy. She burned to reveal, so something better could grow. Was she a hero? She was a woman who was supposed to stay silent, and didn't. That was enough. And beneath them, in the garden soil, a small iron box rested quietly. Inside, no secrets, no encryption, just a message. To the children of silence, burn bright, but always choose your flame. Her name was never carved in stone. But it lived in the way they spoke, in the way they resisted, and in the way they remembered. Still flickering, in ash and grain.